Well, hi, how you doing? It's me, Waddles. Would you take a look at where we are? It's like it's a sign. Today, my friends, my lads, my legends, we're gonna do exactly what we did before for the Caves and Cliffs update and for Minecraft 1.19. Thanks to the help of the amazing Reddit user u/TheLogicalMine, I've got my hands on a beautiful Minecraft 1.20 Iceberg. In today's video, in iceberg fashion, we're gonna start at the top and unpack it all the way down to the deepest, darkest, and saddest secrets. Today, I got a small challenge for you. If you could add one thing to this iceberg, anything, anywhere, what would you add, and what layer would it be in? Just keep it in mind while we unpack the iceberg, and now, let's take a look at that first layer. For layer 1 of the iceberg, we'll be unpacking a lot of relatively basic things about the update, including the official name reveal. So pretty famously by now, with the official reveal of Minecraft 1.20 Trails and Tales, we actually didn't get an official name reveal. The devs intentionally did this to keep expectations a little bit low after the big debacle that was Minecraft 1.19. Minecraft Trails and Tales, or at least like diverse features from the update, those were first revealed at Minecraft Live 2022. That was in October last year. Fast forward all the way to March of this year, and we get the name reveal with this clip right here.
Yeah, I think we have just enough time to do this last segment. So let's return to Agnes and find out that new update name.
So, it's called the Trails and Tales update.
New wood sets. Oh, a stunningly beautiful one. This is one of my favorite pieces of Minecraft 1.20. In Minecraft 1.20, we got two brand new wood sets added to the game. Stunningly beautiful pink cherry wood and yellow-green bamboo wood. Oh, it's so good. In hindsight, now that the update has been out for a little bit of time, if I had to pick a favorite between bamboo wood and cherry wood, which is, well, it's like almost impossible. Both are stunningly beautiful, but I mean, honestly, I've been using cherry wood a little bit more. It's such a nice wood set. Very nice. From new wood sets, there's only one spot we could go, though. Then, of course, if you want to check out the new wood sets, that's going to be the cherry blossom biome. Minecraft 1.20 added a total of one brand new biome. That's going to be the cherry blossom. Anyways, the cherry blossom, even if you've been living underneath the biggest mountain inside of Minecraft, you already know what this biome is. We got the cherry trees, we got that clean grass color, pink flowers all over the place, and an amazing water tone too. Next up, we've got what I would maybe go as far to say the most famous part of Minecraft 1.20, or at least like the runner-up. That's gonna be the sniffer. The sniffer was last year's mob vote winner and Minecraft's very first dinosaur mob. Probably the most popular mob vote winner by far, the sniffer is a mob that has layers and layers to it. First off, the baby is now called the baby sniffer, something different. Then we've got flowers. The sniffer walks around and searches for these things. Torchflower pitcher pot. We also have the sniffer egg that you find from like archaeology, and yeah, there's a whole lot to this thing. For more, check out the everything episode. Armor customization. Ooh, that's another big one. So armor customization, it's all about armor trim. Armor trim, a brand new thing added to Minecraft inside of 1.20. This is either the biggest thing or the second biggest thing. It's a tie between this and the sniffer. It all starts with a smithing table, a block that has now received not one, but two updates since it was first added to the game. Inside of the smithing table, we put an armor trim and a material. Then we can go ahead and trim that armor and make it look like pretty good looking. You'll be able to find these trims all over your world, and unfortunately, they're all only aesthetic. Emerald armor is still, unfortunately, not technically a thing. Out of the two mobs that Minecraft 1.20 added, the camel is definitely one of the two mobs that Minecraft 1.20 added. The camel is a two-player rideable mob that you'll be able to find spawning inside of the desert village. Moving on, taking place inside of the desert, but definitely not only inside of the desert, is a brand new system that was added to the game in Minecraft 1.20. It's called archaeology. Basically, you find a structure in Minecraft, you use a brush, and you brush a block away. If you're really, really lucky, no, I'm not lucky. If you're a little bit more luckier than I am right here, then you'll be able to find some shards when archaeologying. This is called sharding. You find these shards and then you craft them into the final thing on the first layer of the iceberg. The decorated pot. Ooh, it's so fancy and so designed. For layer 2 of the iceberg today, we get a little bit more deep. Deep as in dark. The deep dark biome added to the game initially in 1.19. It was expanded in this update. Well, kind of. It was kind of expanded inside of this update. In this update, place a skulk sensor inside of the crafting table and surround it with some amethyst, and you'll get something new called a calibrated skulk sensor. The calibrated skulk sensor is a non-natural redstone block. You need to craft it if you want to check it out. The calibrated skulk sensor is kind of like the skulk sensor from the last update, except like twice as good in all aspects. It detects things twice as fast, its range is twice as far, and oh yeah, with a little bit of redstone trickery, you can calibrate this thing. Just like how they've done in any other modern Minecraft update, the devs added a brand new soundtrack with the 1.20 Trails and Tales update. The soundtrack consists of 5 songs. 4 of these songs are ambient ones that'll play around your world. One of these ones, Relic. It's a brand new music disc. Back to Redstone, the Chisel Bookshelf. One of the first Minecraft 1.20 feature reveals. In fact, I think it was like maybe the 3rd one or something. The Chisel Bookshelf is finally a bookshelf that actually works in Minecraft. You can put books inside of it and pull a redstone signal out of it with a comparator. The books are really cool. You can put them in like any slot in any order. You can also put any kind of book, enchanted, written, plain, doesn't matter at all. Suspicious blocks. The devs were on something when they were adding this to the game. Tied to the archaeology system, suspicious sand is like a mimic version of sand, and sus gravel, same thing but gravel. Originally, when these things were being added to the game, it was speculated that there might be more versions of it, like maybe dirt, or at least like red sand. But unfortunately, this is not the case here. Smithing templates, armor trims, one of the big parts of Minecraft 1.20. But unfortunately, they're like a single-use item. As soon as you use them one time, they're gone. That is, of course, unless you duplicate these trims with a whole lot of diamonds and some extra blocks too. Sign tweaks. Ooh, where do I start? There's so many. First up, we start with the plain old sign. Let's say I typed a message, but then I realized I wanted to add back to it. Well, no big deal. All you gotta do is tap on the sign and you can like edit the sign again. Just like usual, you can dye the sign. Unlike usual, you can move over to the back of the sign and put something else, and actually dye that something else a completely different color. If you wanted to, when you interact with the thing after you dye it, it's dyed that color. However, if you glow the sign when you interact with it, it's still not glowed. It's pretty weird. And I almost forgot, I play as single player, not usually really a problem, but you could use a honeycomb to wax the sign. If you wax the sign, you could never change it again. Minecraft 1.20, it updated just about every structure in the game, but it also added a brand new one to the game too, the Trail Ruin structure. The Trail Ruin structure is a buried, ancient village. This is another one of those 1.20 things that has so much to it. I did an Everything Series episode on this structure, and the video seriously ended up being 30 minutes long, just about. It's like crazy. Whoo boy, netherite upgrade template, one of the most controversial things added to Minecraft to 1.20. If you want netherite in 1.20, it's a whole lot more difficult. First up, go over to the nether, and then second off, locate a piglin bastion. Move into the piglin bastion, and hopefully, dead center, you have a treasure room. If you're lucky, kind of like I am right here, inside of the treasure room, you're gonna have a chest. Inside of that chest, you're guaranteed one of these things. Outside of the bastion, somewhere a little bit more safe, place a smithing table down. Inside of the smithing table, drop your diamond chestplate, the netherite ingot you found like normal, and the smithing template netherite upgrade. And just like that, you upgraded one piece of armor to netherite. You gotta do the same thing for the tools and all of the rest of the armor. Keep in mind that this template, it costs like 7 diamonds to duplicate, and you're in for a challenge. Last but not least, for this layer smithing table redesign, this happened when they added armor trim to the game. This is the new smithing table, the old one. Well, actually, completely forgot what it looked like. Alright, so layer 3 of the iceberg, smack dab in the middle. This is where things finally start to get a little bit more interesting. Like I had mentioned earlier on in the video, the first 2 layers were a lot of the basic features. That's going to be the case for some of the stuff going forward, but definitely not all of them. The first thing in layer number 3 is the piglin head, one of the rarest things in all of Minecraft. This thing is so tricky to get. Unfortunately, the piglin head doesn't really do anything for you. It's just like a cool new helmet, I guess you could put on, or like I guess if you're a little bit more sick, a decoration that you could put around the local village to torment them. I don't know. I still feel a little bit messed up with this one. Next up, lads, I present you the Wob Shard. The Wob Shard was the original texture of the Archer pottery shirt. It got the name Wob Shard because the bow is kind of like backwards, you know. A couple snapshots into the update later, the devs came back around and touched up the shirt. The camel dash ability. It's not something we really talked about when we talked about the camel at first, but yeah, one of the biggest parts of the camel, you charge up the jump button, and you get this nice, like, yeet. Yeah, if you turn the subtitles on, technically speaking, it's called a yeet. You could jump, like, an absurd amount of blocks. It's like, I don't know, the camel's big, like, talent show trick. The snifflet is the baby version of the sniffer, because let's face it, if we call this thing a baby sniffer, I mean, it's a little goofy sounding, right? Like, baby sniffer? I don't know about that. Crafted with some of the beautiful brand new bamboo planks inside of the crafting table, just like this, is the raft. More specifically, the bamboo raft. The bamboo raft is a brand new boat item added to the game in this update. Other than aesthetics and a slight height difference, it's no different than the boat. Let's throw it back to armor trim, but this time, more specifically, the tied one. For the most part, if you're looking for armor trim inside of your world, it's gonna either be found while doing a little bit of archaeology, or found by looting a structure. Tied is a little bit different though. You'll find it inside of the ocean monument, except there's no chest or sus stuff here. Instead, if you want tied, you gotta get a little bit more lucky. take out one of the Elder Guardians, and you have like a 20% chance of getting one. Ooh, note block ambient sounds. That's a really good one. I actually completely forgot about this update into the Iceberg. Thank you, Iceberg. I appreciate you so much. I'll add this to the guide soon or something. But the note block, I got a new functionality in this update. It's really, really cool. Check this out. If you get the mob head inside of survival, any of them, maybe the skeleton skull, the zombie, whatever, you put it on a note block, then it'll play the sound that that mob would make. This one is so loud.
Oh, I love it. It's so nostalgic. It evokes a strong emotion.
Skulk sensor vibration changes. For this one, it's over to the Minecraft wiki because, oh boy, the vibration system, well, it was entirely reworked inside of Minecraft 1.20. A total of 1 updates after it was initially added to the game. There are so many layers, so much depth. It's like an onion here when it comes to this Minecraft mechanic. I feel kind of sad because it's like, I don't know if I've ever even touched it in survival since it was added. Dripping cherry leaves is something you might have noticed subtly inside of the biome, or maybe not so subtly inside the biome, but as soon as you walk underneath a cherry blossom tree or like anywhere near the thing, the leaves all over the place, they start dripping particles. This is so cool. It's kind of like the spore blossom that was added in caves and cliffs, and yeah, it's just so nice. I feel like it's the particles alone that comes from these trees that really like creates the whole vibe, sets the tone for the cherry blossom biome. I love this, and I wish more leaves did this. Camel breeding. This one confused me a little bit. I'm not too sure why it's here, but to breed a camel inside of survival Minecraft, you will have to find 2 camels that walk against each other, just like that, and you get a baby camel. Of course, after you feed them the plain old cactus. I guess maybe this is here because this is like the first new use for the cactus in essentially exactly a million trillion years. Our final 2 entries for the middle layer of the iceberg today are interesting ones. First up, we've got release date riddles. I can't be 100% sure, but I'm 95% sure release date riddles refers to the riddles that were sprinkled all over the release date reveal video.
I'll tell you what it is as soon as I remember it. Minecraft Legends news now.
Finally here, the last entry on this layer of the iceberg is Trails and Tales logo change. So, I gotta be honest, I'm not too sure exactly what the logo change means. Ever since it's revealed, the logo has been exactly the same. Maybe it's a reference to like some of the memes where it's like Trails and Tales and it's spelled different or something. I don't know. We'll call that one good and move on. Getting pretty deep on our iceberg at this point now. Layer number 4. Oh boy, we begin with the big one. Some features are originally intended to be in 1.17. So this one's gonna throw us all the way back to Minecraft Live 2020. Originally, the entire archaeology system, well, the whole system with sharding, digging, brushing, all of it, that was all originally planned to be in Minecraft caves and cliffs. Fortunately, or unfortunately for us, once the feature eventually made it into the game, it was like completely different than how it was originally shown off. But yeah, even when they showed it off, way back when, they even had a structure that was like pretty similar to the modern trail routes. Different, but similar. Next up, we got one that I'm surprised we haven't had the chance to talk about quite yet, but it's hanging sign chain orientation. If you place a hanging sign just like that, like straight on, it'll have 2 chains. If we place the hanging sign like on a diagonal, so something like, no, yeah. If we place a hanging sign maybe on that fence right there, then we get that. We get the V chain right there. And then finally, the other orientation, that's gonna be this right here. It's similar to the first one, but like this time, you got a plank on the top. Fun fact, you could actually walk on that. Maybe this could make for like an interesting parkour match inside of your world or something like that. Shards to shards, ah yes, in an unfortunate and despicably defeated attempt to remove my joke of sharding all over the Minecraft world, the devs renamed shards to shards in one of the snapshot. Every single one of these things, it's not a pottery shard, it's a pottery shirt. New night vision recipe. Ooh, this is what I'm talking about. So for this one, first things first, we need to get a brown mushroom into the world. Second thing second, we feed it a flower. If you didn't know, when you feed the brown mushroom a flower, depending on the type of flower you give it, every single time you'll get the same type of stew. So a poppy, that's gonna be, I guess, night vision. Do it with a rose? Well, I mean, pretty straightforward. I would assume that's gonna be wither, yeah. Unfortunately, you cannot feed the brown mushroom a pitcher plant. However, you can feed it a torch flower. If we feed this thing a torch flower and then milk the brown mushroom, we eat the sauce stew and just like that, brand new night vision potion recipe. The string pickaxe is a reference to the original brush crafting recipe. Originally, you crafted this thing something like this inside of the crafting table. You use string and stick and yeah, it was just kind of weird. Smithing template symbols, oh boy. So look at these items right here. They got some strange icons. The origins for this one throws us back potentially a very long time, like we're talking years. I remember in an older snapshot, don't remember for what update anymore, you can look in a playlist and find it though, but symbols were added to the game. I'm not sure if the symbols that were added were basically these things added years beforehand or what, but long story short, these template icons, they got different symbols on them. You see on the tie trim, you get like a wishbone shape right there, and then the armor trim, chest plate, wishbone shape. Over here on the eye one, you get a circle, and then poof, you get a circle. New Desert Temple Rube is another one of those features that takes us back to sharding archaeology. Inside of the Desert Temple, an ancient Minecraft structure, well, a brand new room was actually added to this thing inside of this update. This room, the whole function, purpose, meaning behind it, well, of course, it's the archaeology system. It's a way to show off the system. There are two different variants of this room. One variant of this room is in the back left corner, the other variant is in the back right corner. Other than the specific placement though, every single time, the rest is going to be the same. You're going to have a staircase walking down to it, then you're going to have a terracotta floor down here. Do a little bit of brushing, digging, and eventually you end up with a room that looks something like this right here. It's pretty cool. Minecraft mob vote server. So this was something that I definitely hopped on and checked out at the time when the server was live, but I guess I never put the footage anywhere. I mean that, or I tucked it inside of a video with a bunch of other things I can't remember. But long story short, there was a mob vote server for this year's Minecraft Live. In past years, the mob vote took place on Twitter. I guess the devs foresaw what was coming. That's some amazing foresight there, and so they built out a mob vote for their website and on a Minecraft server on Bedrock. Maybe it was a way to rig the mob vote, maybe it was just a nice way to incorporate something into the game. Unfortunately, the world may never know. This sand is sus. Is that just another sus sand reference, or am I missing something here? Help me out. And finally, smithing blueprint. Interesting. After doing a tiny bit of what I would consider some pretty top-level researching into this one, I found another. Like Minecraft smithing blueprint, I'm not too sure if that's just referencing how you duplicate this thing inside of the crafting table, but probably not, because we talked about that earlier on. Maybe it's referencing how it actually works inside of this thing, like maybe these little icons that are popping up, kind of like a blueprint. Or my third and final guess for this one, lads, is this maybe referencing a miscalled name that this thing was referenced by at some point during the development cycle. Could have been by one of the devs, maybe by one of the community members. I'm not too sure. So here we are, right back where we started, except this time, we're at the deepest depths of the iceberg. All the way down here at the bottom of the iceberg, I find a suspicious looking pink petal flower. The pink petals, once added to Minecraft, look something like this. The icon on the hotbar, the items on the ground right there. This is pretty cool looking. The old pink petal item texture is actually used as the symbol for this layer of the iceberg. It looks like the, kind of like that yellow flower, but retextured. Brush enchantments is very interesting. The brush, of course, is a brand new Minecraft tool, and how it goes, can we enchant the new tool? Well, unfortunately, sad news in the enchanting table, definitely not. But fortunately, great news in the anvil, absolutely yes. If you wanted to, the Curse of Vanishing can go on this thing. If you wanted to, Unbreaking can go on it. And maybe even better, Mending. Those are the only 3 enchantments that can be put on the brush in survival Minecraft. Changed arbor patterns is a reference to a change that was made in one of the snapshots when developing this update. You see this trim right here? This is the desert one. Well, the desert one didn't always look like this. When the armor trims were added, initially every trim was added except the trail ruin trims. When the trail ruin trims were added, the textures were shifted around a little bit. The original desert texture, I believe it was this one right here, the shaper one. Or wait, no, was it Wayfinder? Or no, maybe it was Host. Okay, wrong, no, actually, it was definitely this one right here. This nowadays found at the Outpost, but originally you would find that texture over at the Desert Temple. Meanwhile, the OG Outpost trim, it was originally one of the armor trims that is now found inside of the Trail Ruin structure. Speaking of arbor trims, the new longest ID name, well, that one is going to go to this one right here. Hands down, look at that name. That is so long. Netherite Upgrade Smithing Template. That's a long ID. The Camel Prototype. So this one takes us on a deep dive over to the Minecraft YouTube channel. Over on the Minecraft YouTube channel, I love these insights that the devs give us. They show us early versions of the Minecraft mobs. Inside of this YouTube video, you can find it on their channel. Oh my god, it's terrible. It's absolutely cursed. The camel. What in the world is wrong with this thing? Every single day, I wake up joyful that the original camel did not make it into the game because that's a creature of my nightmares. While we talk about early versions of mobs, let's talk about early version of the sniffer. In a short that was literally just posted, last week. In the short all about the sniffer, we got a teaser, a glimpse into some original concept art for this thing. It's really, really brief, but it looked so cool. It had a big tail. Sniffer sniffing beds is a reference to a strange mechanic behavior that the sniffer originally had, where they would like sniff the beds. The piglin mob head is really cool. It gets even more cool if you put it on. Check out the ears, it's like waving around, it's awesome. You can get a similar animation out of the piglin mob head by placing it near a redstone source. The long, oversized ears will wag in the wind forever. The panorama seed is a pretty straightforward one. This is an obvious reference to the seed that was used for the panorama. The seed searching community found the seed, I believe, like pretty much right away. This was one of the fastest seed findings ever. The obscure features inside of the Cherry Grove biome. You know, perhaps, maybe these features are so obscure that I don't even fully comprehend what they're talking about. Perhaps these obscure features could be the fact that, like, if you take the pink petals away, if you bone meal the ground, you can actually get the pink petals back. It's pretty cool. Another obscure feature having to do with the cherry blossom is the structures that can currently generate inside of it. So of course you got the room portal that can generate anywhere inside of Minecraft's overworld just about, but also on Minecraft Java Edition only right now, you got the pillager outpost. That'll come to Bedrock in 1.20.30. When it comes to mobs that you'll be able to find spawning inside of this biome, it's a little bit different than usual. You'll be able to find rabbits, you'll be able to find bees in the trees, you'll be able to find sheep, donkey actually, but no cow at all, ever. I mean, that is, unless the cow, like, decides to wander into the biome. They won't spawn here, though. Finally, we'll give you another piece of obscure information about this biome. When it comes to the sounds they can play inside of the Cherry Grove biome, these are all of them. Oh yeah, then technically it's called the Cherry Grove, but a lot of people call it the Cherry Blossom, including me. And last but not least, a tribute to the legend. The best way to end this iceberg, the only way we can wrap it up with the legendary man himself, Roger Badgerman. Roger Badgerman popped up, I think maybe about this time last year with some intriguing leaks. Maybe it was a little bit before. I have to admit, at first I was a non-believer. Badgerman began by leaking some legend stuff and later moved on to mob boat stuff. Badgerman called the mob boat exactly perfectly correct. It was pretty amazing. After that, Badgerman went on to predict or leak a couple of Minecraft 1.20 features, including one that it would add to the iceberg, right down here at the bottom of the list. A bonus entry that I will add to the iceberg is these strange blue flowers. It was heavily speculated that these strange blue flowers were originally going to be another sniffer plant, but unfortunately, it never came to fruition. Whew, and so that was a long one, but the entire ultimate Minecraft Trails and Tales iceberg. That's just about it. What would you add to the iceberg? If you haven't told me yet, drop it down below. Next up, if you haven't checked out, say, the Wild Update iceberg, check out that one next. It's got some pretty interesting things, and secret wardens too. Smash a like, subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. You're the ultimate best, and I'll see you ultimately tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.